What is going on today, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today's video where I'm showing you my new FRS/GT86. Isn't that right, Mariano?
Yeah.
We're trading as of today, right?
Only for a few minutes.
Only for a few minutes. So as you can see, we have a new car in the garage. This is Mariano's car. It is previously an FRS, but now it's a full-blown 86 badged all the way up. And it also has a ton of like really incredible, I think, even though Mariano is very, very humble about it. Essentially, a lot of the things on this car are hand done, and I'll show you a few examples of that. So like this by hand with carbon.
Yeah, well, this I wanted to build like a stand for the Shorai battery, and I didn't like too many of the options in the market. And since I do carbon fiber stuff, I want to do something different. Try to keep weight low as much as possible, and it's just a prototype, but it's gonna get a little more, a little better after I figured out a couple of things.
And it's a HKS turbo kit, right? Yeah. And then even like the front splitter, like this is what you did, correct?
Well, no, this splitter comes from a company called Cele. It's from a JDM company, as well as the front lip and the rear spots. And mostly all the body that you see is imported from Japan. The only thing I've done so far is the rear spoiler. It's a full carbon spoiler that...
yeah, let's take a look at that.
Yeah. GT86 Supra from '95. I love that car. So
say it again? It's
a GT86, a Japanese GT racing cars of the '90s. The Supra has exactly the same style of this spoiler, so I looked at a lot of pictures and took some measurements, and I just crafted the way the way it looks on the racing car. And yeah, I always love that that style that some might call rice, but I love this style of spoiler.
It's absolutely wild, and this is entirely handmade by Mariano himself, which is very, very impressive. These tail lights, you guys know, the only tail lights to get for your 86 are the toms, and even better if you can get them whited out like this. So you did this yourself as well,
when
right?
I did this, I wanted the smoke look. So instead of doing what most people do, is that taking apart the OEM tail light that I clear, and they also have a reflector over here that gets in the way of the second light. I purchased a brand new set of different brand taillights just to get the lens. So after that, I fused them together and it came out like this. And
yeah, and by the way, guys, that's extremely like when I think about taking apart a pair of toms, like the toms on my car, for instance, wherever it is blown out. It terrifies me because these are, I believe, probably some of the rarest taillights out there for our car. They're probably the most sought after, I would say, and they definitely have the most racing heritage, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it's really easy to mess up because you can't just put it in the oven like you do with the headlights. You have to cut the whole case and then weld it back together. So it was very risky. Yeah,
so having to cut the whole lens out of two different lights, replace it, and then add in the little features. It's quite an intense process, and it's very, very scary. So there's definitely a lot of really cool exterior bits of this car, and being that this garage is really tiny, it's kind of hard to see it all. But we will definitely take a look at this once we get it outside. But one of the coolest things that I love about this car is most of it is HKS themed, or like HKS would love to have this car, I think, in their collection for sure, because Mariano went all out with the throwbacks to them, and just in general, like it's just a very, very clean car, and no reps around here or anything like that. And for the interior, this is like one of the nicest interiors you've ever seen in an FRS/86. As you can see, there's lots of bits here that don't look like a normal car. The seats are actually stock seats, but they were reupholstered with this nice red leather. And on top of that, added bolstering into it. So it's even more of a sporty and comforting seat in a sense. Another difference you might be able to notice here is that center console there is nice and shiny because it's carbon fiber. Let me zoom in there. So the console, carbon fiber, a lot of the trim pieces, carbon fiber, Alcantara type material all throughout. Even here, which was only on, like the special edition cars for the door cars and stuff like that. And these black trim pieces are pretty cool too. That's a JDM only variant.
From the JDM Subaru BRC tuned by S. They were available at the time only on that model. Right now you get them in the States also because the different models already bring them. But at that time it was like pretty rare.
Yeah, so the black trim from the essentially Subaru's like highest model they ever had. What shifter is that, by the way? That's so shiny. Is that normally like that?
Yeah, that one is called Leg Sport. It's from another JDM
okay,
company.
that fits it really nice.
Yeah, it fits with the top of the gear selector. That is the same finish.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so extremely nice interior, and yeah, you guys probably have never seen one, I would assume, this nice. Most of the time people have like Brahms seats that are very similar to this, but I think this keeps the car so pure, and then like on an OEM plus level, that it's ridiculous. All right, so now we're gonna take a look at what we were doing today. So we have a bunch of exhaust bits for the HKS that Mariano's gonna explain because I don't know what I'm talking about in this arena.
All right, the car was originally tuned NA. It had full HKS exhaust, headers, front pipe, Catback, and then it became turbo. So right now, the exhaust that I have is not very much fitting with the performance of the turbo. Therefore, the idea was to get a better flowing exhaust, but I wanted to get this exhaust, which I always love. Is the Amuse R1 Titan. It's a full titanium, all this. And after putting this exhaust, I know there will be some problems, which is it's gonna be too loud, it's gonna be raspy. So I have a theory that it might work or might be a total fail to add as many cats as possible. Therefore, yeah. I'm switching the downpipe from HKS to a Catalytic one. They released this one after the turbo. After a couple years, they released the turbo. They released this version, so I bought it. And then I had JDL make this front pipe, which is they call the quiet, ultra quiet. So I hope that helps, and I hope I can get a nice deep sound, but that won't kill my ears. So.
Yeah. Yeah, because this stuff being all titanium, if you guys have any idea, it generally reverberates sound a lot more. But I think with this many cats going on and resonators, it's going to turn out pretty good. I think. So. Yeah, well, only one way to find out, right?
Yep.
Alright guys, we are all set with the R1 Catback. We're going to do a sound test from here and then do a sound test with each individual part as we go along. So this is the R1 Catback and pretty much HKS all the way around besides that, right Mariano?
Right now, yes.
Yeah, HKS from the front all the way to the R1.
Right now it's everything uncatted.
Uncatted, alright.
That is good.
actually not bad. I bet when, yeah.
We now have the JDL front pipe in here, the dual catted front pipe, ultra quiet, leading into the R1 exhaust, the full titanium. So we're gonna go ahead and do another sound test now with these parts installed.
I feel like that was taming it.
Louder.
I think it was louder, but it was also taming it a little more.
Yeah, it could
Like
be.
it kind of tamed it more on the top end, but it was a little gruntier though, definitely. All right, little progress update. We have the old downpipe off. Mariano's transferring all the fancy HKS hardware over to the new one. Here's the new one over here. It's literally the same thing as the previous one, except it's got a nice cat here. So I think this would actually help too if you were like in California or something like that. You would have one of these as opposed to the non-catted. And then with the cats, look at this fancy ass shield you get with it. It's pretty cool. Alright guys, we are all done here with the HKS kit. We got our new downpipe with the cat, the double catted JDL pipe, and then the R1 titanium exhaust. So we're going to do our final sound test now and see how it goes. And it still sounds really good back here. Yeah, because it
really changed the sound.
up front, it quieted down a lot. You can
A
tell.
lot. It's not as aggressive,
Yeah.
but it's something I can live with.
Happy customer?
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. The flutter is so loud. The flutter gets me every time. The flutter's so much harder than my car right now.
So far, I love the sound.
Yeah, I was about to ask. So, good so far?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it only gets more tame too.
pops.
Little pop. Don't forget about the exhaust. So that is going to be it, guys. Really hope you enjoyed this one, working on Mariano's pristine 86. I really love this car. It's one of the first cars I ever saw in South Florida. It was just like, goddamn, that thing is so nice. And to this day, it stays that way in my head. This is one of the coolest cars ever, and honestly, I'm honored to work on it. So really cool, and thanks to Mariano for keeping me in mind for doing this. So we're going to end the video with the sound test back to back. So enjoy that, and I will catch you guys on the next one.